Olympic wrestler in 2016, the undefeated Mahmoud Sabie takes on the undefeated Ethan Hughes.
And now we welcome to the Bellator cage, this is Ethan Hughes.
Ethan Hughes is still unable to legally enjoy a drink here in the United States of America. 20 years of age, just his third professional fight, and yet getting an opportunity on the biggest stage here in Bellator MMA. And John, Ethan Hughes with a 2-0 record, 1 knockout, 1 submission, has showcased some potential, but the skill's still very much rudimentary.
Absolutely, but you know what he's hoping to do is kind of recall the past of the guy that you know very well. Frank Shamrock pulling off the armbar against Olympic gold medalist Kevin Jackson long ago.
16
That's
seconds.
what he expects to do tonight against Sabie.
Well done. The walking encyclopedia of MMA, Big John McCarthy.
And now we welcome his opponent, Mahmoud Sabie.
Mahmoud Sabie, known as the Prince of Egypt. Sabie knows how to rock like an Egyptian. 3-0 with 3 knockouts. Of course you would expect that from a guy who was an Olympic wrestler. 3 fights, 3 KOs.
Well, it doesn't quite fit into the background, but if you take a look at where he's been with ATT and the coaching of a guy like Mike Brown, and then just the nastiness of his coach and Steve Mocco, look out, this guy's gonna be
ATT Army out in full effect. Dan Lambert sitting here at cage side to watch 4 members of his gym embrace in combat here tonight, including the man you're about to talk about here with the tail of the tape.
Very simply put, take a look at those records. 3-0 against 2-0, so someone's always going to go. This should be fun.
You should copyright that. Let's go to Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to Hard Rock Live as Bellator MMA returns to the great state of Florida. Tonight, Bellator 271 gets underway now with 3 5-minute rounds in the welterweight division. Introducing first the blue corner. At 5'10", weighing in 170.8 pounds. His professional record undefeated at 2-0. He fights out of Wiggins, Mississippi, Ethan Hughes. And across the cage, his adversary fighting out of the red corner. At 6 foot, weighing in 170.8 pounds. As a professional, he too stands undefeated, bringing 3 victories without a loss by way of Egypt. He fights out of Miami, Florida, Mahmoud, the Prince of Egypt, Sabie. In charge of the action, your referee, Andrew Glenn.
Welterweight action to begin the proceedings here. Bellator 271
Step back.
from the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Hollywood, Florida. The bell and round 1. The undefeated Mahmoud Sabie in the red gloves, Hughes in the blue gloves. And when you look at tape of Hughes, John, you do notice the heart, the grit, the never quit attitude. And again, for both of them, their MMA game still very much a work in progress. They're both in the embryonic stages of their respective MMA careers as Hughes goes upstairs with that head kick.
Well, after a head clash where they both came together with their heads, that was a beautiful kick upstairs. But the real thing that you're looking at, look, both guys are young in the sport, but I think you're going to see just a difference in speed with Sabie. When he really starts to go, he's got a lot of speed in his hands, and he uses those hands to set up his wrestling, get inside, get to a clinch, and take the fight down where he wants it to be.
Sabie told us that his wrestling and his athleticism would be the key, and on cue, John, exactly what you set up. He goes for the takedown and has dominant position on Hughes, who is trying to scramble, giving up his back.
Yeah, the one thing you'll know with Hughes does like the armbar. He will try to set up, snatch that arm and set the armbar up. So look for that. But Sabie has got to, he's had to have seen that too. When he's putting himself in a position, that armbar is just not even in the equation.
Vicious ground and pound from the back by Sabie. Hughes has a rear naked choke. submission in his last fight as he rolls now to his back open guard.
Head high, don't let him touch your head.
Nice job by Hughes to get himself into the guard position. Much better position now. He can at least has the ability to attack his opponent. He's got a high guard. Now it's not a triangle at this point. High guard, but he has the ability to make that happen at any moment. There he goes for the armbar.
And Hughes, a purple belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He feels that his edge will be in BJJ and going for the submission here early in the fight, coming up on 3 minutes left here in a, well, action-packed opening round.
Well, they're both going after it, and Hughes is looking at it. I'm a purple belt in Jiu-Jitsu.
Former champion Mike Brown, who's become one of the stellar coaches in the sport.
He is fantastic at it, but Hughes is thinking, Jiu-Jitsu-wise, Sebie's not going to have it. Well, look, he's with AT&T. They're doing jiu-jitsu all the time. He understands it. He understands how to defend.
He's not in the phone company.
Head free, always.
AT&T, American top team, and does a lot of top-tier talent there, that's for sure. And ground and pound from Sabie.
Going after the armbar again. That one's set better. That was a problem. He's worked his way out of it. Position-wise, he's going to end up on the bottom.
And now it's Hughes on top momentarily. Up kick attempt by Sabie, gives up his back as Hughes goes on the attack.
And Sabie doing the natural thing for a wrestler, going face down. Not a bad idea at the time. And here he goes, that armbar again. He's getting set up.
Under 2 minutes left in the first round, Hughes continues to fish for that armbar submission on Mahmoud Sabie, a battle of neophyte, undefeated mixed martial artist. Belly down attempt by Hughes, releases the grip, continues to stay on top.
Beautiful job of transitioning throughout for Hughes. He went for the armbar. At one point it was close, and then he lost the position of it, but kept fighting through to get on top.
Scramble.
Nice basic sit out by Sabie.
Under 90,
back to his feet.
Under 90 seconds left here in the opening round. Both back up to a vertical base after a lot of intensity on the ground. And speaking of intense, Sabie's game face says it all.
You can see it. There is a big swelling under the left eye of Ethan Hughes.
The mouse developing into a rat. A minute left here in the opening round. And yeah, that's becoming a big problem in a hurry.
Up being the big problem. Right now it's okay. He can see out of the eye and everything, but if it gets hit again, you're going to see that thing really start to swell.
Whatever he does, do not blow your nose in the corner. So both of them showcasing their wares early. You have to love the aggression, the pressure, the intensity, the willingness to take chances, John.
Well, both of them gone very hard in this first round. You can tell they're both trying to actually catch some air, which is smart by both guys.
Want to make that big first impression.
Exactly. They want to get in here, look dynamic, but right now they just need to both settle down and think about what you need to do to change this round into your round.
And you need to think about how you have it on your unofficial scorecard and why.
Well, right now I'm going to have Ethan Hughes winning that round. He's the one that actually put Sabie into danger. Now you can take a look. Sabie did land shots, and you can see the damage from the shots. But he had him in danger at certain points. At one point, that armbar was pretty tight. That was the most dangerous attack during the round. Take a look. This is the takedown by Sabie. Comes in, takes the back, turns that corner. Beautiful job. And from that point, landed some good shots and did some good work. But it was the armbar attack of Ethan Hughes. Look at the foot on the hip. You see him starting to change that angle, brings the foot around and the leg up onto him and gets that arm set. You can see the hyperextension of the arm. You can see how it's starting to go back, and that's why Sabie goes back and is in trouble at that point. He worked his way out, though.
For the first time in 4 professional fights, Mahmoud Sabie will see a second round, while Ethan Hughes, he wants to continue to exploit what he believes is his biggest advantage, the grappling.
You right?
round two side of sportsmanship before they renew hostilities, and it's Sabie coming out with a high kick that's blocked by Hughes. So Sabie with 3 first-round knockouts. The combined fight time was 4 minutes and 20 seconds before this fight, so conditioning will definitely be taxed for the first time.
Well, it's the first time he's entering the second round, and we're going to see how he handles that. Right now, he's doing a nice job, front kick up the middle, but he needs to get back to his basics of wrestling. To be outside with his stand-up, you can see he's just not as comfortable in the stand-up art as he is in the grappling art, so take the fight down to the ground and get into what you do best. Nice little calf kick by Sabie.
Sabie pawing the jab before missing with that low kick. Hughes wearing the marks of battle again. That left eye still open, swelling around the eye, but it doesn't appear to be any more of an issue than it was in the opening round. Both of them wanting the other to lead this dance.
Both of them a little wary of each other's skill set now. Sabie needs to, when those hands come together like that, it's time to start getting into your art. Start closing the distance, get that clinch, and start taking this fight to the ground. Ethan Hughes now going after him in the stand-up.
Front kick there by Hughes has showcased a diverse offense, uppercut and chop, and then eats that jab by Sabie, and then Sabie stuffs the takedown attempt by Hughes. Knee up the middle by Sabie, some distance, and there's a right uppercut. Well executed by Hughes.
Very nicely done. A little bit of dirty boxing there. Grabbed a single collar tie, brought the uppercut.
Uppercut on full display. Showtime pay-per-view last Saturday, where Canelo became the first undisputed 168-pound champion. Anthony Durrell with the highlight reel uppercut KO, and man, the uppercut has become de rigueur in combat sports. Always been there, but we're seeing much better use of it, I believe, lately, more so than in the last few years.
Absolutely, because it's a devastating punch and very difficult to see if it's set up right.
Coming up on the midpoint of the round and the fight. Hughes again with that right uppercut, jacking the jaw of Sabie. Sabie nods as if to say no, which usually means, yeah, okay.
Sabie's making a big mistake in that he's not using his hands to get himself inside. And notice he's keeping his hands and pushing them out.
Yes, and missing wildly, not at all in range, and becoming frustrated by Ethan Hughes' gutsy attack that has been full of that heart and never quit mentality that he talked about. Hughes really doing a good job mixing up his offense, John.
Well, there's no doubt Hughes has taken over the offense in this fight. He's the one that's leading this right now. He's the one determining where it's going to take place. Sabie is not utilizing his striking. See, right now, he's
lazy jab.
Throwing the jab, it's lazy, and he's not doing anything to count, to set it up with the next shot or to go into the clinch.
And again, Sabie, a decorated wrestler who is training with some of the sharpest striking minds and best overall MMA fighters at American Top Team. But again, his fourth pro fight, his striking remains a work in progress. And against a guy like Hughes, he might want to go with that thing called wrestling that he has in his toolkit.
Right now, I would tell you he's making a mistake in that he's allowing Ethan Hughes to dictate where this fight is at. He needs to utilize his hands to create the situation where Hughes needs to bring his hands up, and then shoot down, get into the legs, get into the clinch, and take him to the ground.
Well, Hughes may be beginning to fall in love with his handiwork and baiting Sabie and hand low, but he did score with the jab. Nice counter jab off the missed uppercut attempt by Sabie.
That was a nice hook landed by Ethan Hughes. Landed clean. He's landed a lot of clean shots in this round.
And again, you read the body language. Sabie seems confused by what is taking place here in the stand-up. Just ate another jab by Hughes. Under 30 seconds now left in the second round, and Hughes continues to score and take the offensive attack to Mahmoud Sabie here in the second stanza. And Hughes predicted a second round submission. Clock, well, may dictate otherwise, but he's had a very good round in the stand-up department. Nice counter. Two-punch combination by Hughes. John, how do you have it after 10 minutes on your unofficial scorecard, and why, sir?
Right now, I've got Ethan Hughes up in this fight. I think that Sabie needs to do something special. He's got to end this fight if he wants to get a win. Watch the strike. Beautiful jab, straight down. Both guys jabbing, but it was Hughes that landed and caused the more impact. Look at Sabie with his hands here. This is not what you want to do. Nice job by Ethan Hughes, brings the uppercut. Sabie again, allowing that hand to be held and brings the uppercut. Just a nice, clean counter right here. You see the Sabie misses, counter hook over the top, and then brings it again, and he even did a backhand in the middle of it.
Give the uppercut or straight. Let's start throwing some straight rights to his body, too. All right, because he knows we're all up top. Let's start leaning to his body a little bit. One high.
Gotta win the front. Gotta win the front. Win the front. Last round, eh? Step back, step back. Step back, boy. Over here, over here. Over here. Over here, Red. Over here, Red. Last round, last round, last round, gentlemen. You ready? You ready?
Third and final round. 20-year-old Ethan Hughes. Biggest motivation, his brother Dennis Hughes Jr., who has always inspired him. And he's had an inspired performance, but Sabie takes down Hughes early in round 3, finally utilizing what got him to the dance.
You could tell Mike Brown in the corner told him, you must take this fight to the ground. You need to use your wrestling. That's what Sabie was doing. Kind of went in there with a little bit of danger involved, but did a nice job of getting to the ground. We'll see what he can do.
With a growing Instagram following of over 1 million, Sabie's built a strong social media presence, and he would love to go viral with a highlight reel win here, and looking to come back in round number 3, but Hughes trying to fend him off along the fence, scrambling underneath.
Nice scramble by Hughes, but he was going into armbar positions without the arm in place. Obviously didn't work for him. He got caught with a lot of hammer fist. You can take a look at those strikes landed right now. Hughes is ahead, not by a huge amount, but landing at 49 to 43%.
Hughes turns into Sabie, and Sabie now in his guard, open guard on his back, so Sabie unable to take advantage of the takedown to kick off the third round, and now Hughes in top position, looking to bring the pressure, looking to bring the strikes.
Watch your fingers.
Sabie was able to land a couple of those hammer fists, and we'll see if Hughes is able to get it back here now that he's in the top position.
Hammer fist from Hughes from the top position, closed guard. And Sabie trying to control the arms, needs to control posture. There he goes.
Right before the fight, Mahmoud Sabie said, I'm never going to lose. You can hear him saying it to the camera. And if he doesn't do something special with the rest of the time, 3 minutes left in this round, he's going to lose his first fight.
Well, he's known for his motivational videos. He's going to have to dig down deep. And Ethan Hughes continues to smother him, continues to attack him. There was a slashing elbow strike now. Hughes posturing.
Hughes needs to figure out that Sabie is not a jiu-jitsu guy off of his back. He doesn't have that attack with the different submissions. And so he can do certain things. He can frame off when he gets his arm across, frame off on his neck and create space so he can land heavier shots.
2.5 minutes left in the fight. And it's been a terrific fight thus far for 20-year-old Ethan Hughes. His third professional bout. His Bellator MMA debut against, well, the man who came with the headlines, Mahmoud Sabie.
He did. Sabie was looking for a triangle. It was never set in place. Sabie still has hold of the leg, but he's not in a great position right here. Well, it's not a new one. It was the wrong side. Yeah. That's why you see Hughes just step right around, puts the foot on, excuse me, the knee on the neck or the face.
Side control for Hughes. A minute 45 left in the fight. Knee on belly. Now half guard. But Hughes in dominant position, goes to full mount, and now ground and pound by Ethan Hughes.
Take a look at those arms sticking up. If you're a guy that likes the arm bar, that arm is in position for you to take it.
Less than 90 seconds left in the fight. Ground and pound resumes for Ethan Hughes, looking to pound his way to victory here in the Bellator MMA cage, to hand Sabie
trying to buck him off. Does not work. And Ethan Hughes just lighting him up. Those aren't real heavy shots.
But they're relentless.
They are relentless. There's a lot of volume there.
Mouth guard is off and the fight is over. Ethan Hughes grounds and pounds his way to a big win in his Bellator debut as he hands Mahmoud Sabie his first loss, recording the third round TKO triumph. An emotional Ethan Hughes, just 20 years old, with a big win here tonight.
That's a huge win. You know, coming in and you're going against a guy that has gone to the top of the amateur sports world in the Olympics, and man, to come out and get a win, and a win in a dominant fashion.
Talk about that, John. What impressed you the most about the way Ethan Hughes went about his business?
What I really liked about him in that first part of the fight, when you were looking, he went after the submissions. He tried to put his opponent on the defense. This was the third round here when he switched the position. Sabie had gotten the takedown, then he switches it up and he starts landing shots. Not a lot of power on him, but he got there, and then when he finally got to the mouth, look at the volume. The mouthpiece is sticking there because Sabie is tired. Mouthpiece comes out. He's got problems. Great win for